start with injury reserve. These are your guys, right?
These are my guys. Hell yeah, man.
You posted a picture on your Instagram story with them.
Yes, I met Injury Reserve. I think it might have been their first or second national tour. They were opening up for the Underachievers here in Boston, and they were fucking awesome. I had already listened to their music. I listened to Live from the Dentist Office from 2015 and Floss from December 2016, the second and third mixtapes. And they had a lot of fans in the crowd, which is kind of rare for rap openers, especially someone who's the trio that's obscure and not super mainstream like Injury Reserve. So, I mean, then again, they're at a UA show, so I guess underground fans would be in attendance. But I was so impressed by that. And I think Richie really was good at commanding the room, again, a year and a half ago. And what stood out to me, besides meeting them after the show, was that some dude was like talking shit to them as like being the opener or something and telling them like to get off the stage. Some like drunk kid. Richie like jumped off the stage and fucking punched the dude in the face, got back up and kept performing. It was the fucking hardest shit I ever saw. And nothing happened because he was chilling at the merch booth at the end of the show. And it was fucking awesome. And I was asking him about it. He's like, "Was that cool? You good?" He's like, "I'm fine, man." He was just talking shit. I had to end that.
Wow.
And like, meanwhile, they have a substantial underground following at this point. They're without a question the biggest rappers to come out of Arizona, just because there's really no one else. And I think that's really cool. We always talk about all the scenes, all the hubs in the country, and even England now as well, and Asian rap. We talk about all the areas where stuff comes and how the sound's different, but no one really thinks of southwestern U.S. for a place of hip hop. Like, we'll talk about Houston in a second with Megan Thee Stallion, but Arizona showing up right here with Injury Reserve. And yeah, I feel like this album was kind of a long time coming for them, and I think it continues a lot of what they've been doing. So I guess there can be good and bad with that. But what did you think? Because I mean, had you listened to really any of their stuff? Their biggest songs to this point was "All This Money," "Oh Shit." They had some really hard songs, but eclectic beats, which again continued on this record. But had you heard any of that before?
No, I hadn't listened to them before. I was aware that you had seen them and were into them. My take was it was a very up and down record for me. There were points when I was like, "Oh, this shit's great," and times when I was like, I can't even get through this song. I need to skip to the next one." Um, one of the things I think that also stood out was they really seemed to, at least in the first half, rely a lot on like the kind of drums that was in Black Panther, the movie, which I like stood out very specifically to me, that they were like, I don't even know what kind of drums to describe them as, but just really stood out that it was the same style. And that actually kind of brought me around to, I think, how I heard this album was, it was like their take on Vince Staples' Big Fish theory, but like almost more extreme in ways. Whereas Vince, I think, was able to make it more cohesive and consistent, this felt like the extremes of what he was trying to do experimentally on that. And I give them a lot of credit for that, because it's their first official record. They could very easily have put something out that was going to be safe and that they know would probably have a couple of hits and people would really flock to, but they seem to stay true to what they are, which is this band that goes hard on some songs and maybe loses energy on others. Which I think the songs where they go hard is probably when I was not as into it. I think that's more of just my taste. But a song like Gravy and Biscuits, which is probably the most like pop sounding,
crossover
radio friendly song, is was probably my favorite on there. The song like Get the Fuck Up, not my thing. I actually I wrote down as I was listening, this is a cacophony of sound, just a lot of different sounds fused together at once for me.
Right.
Were you pleased with the album though? Was this what you expected?
Yeah, well, I never loved either of their other tastes before. It's kind of the same thing as this. The energy can come and go, and because the beats are relatively all over the place, just because they're so unique, some songs just don't really work or don't lend themselves to re-listenability, right? So, yeah, not a bad thing. I think they're just still trying lots of stuff, and frankly, that's really refreshing. Parker Corey, the white kid in the trio, I believe co-produced every single beat here. That's his role. and they do a lot of cool stuff with the production. But again, it doesn't mean every song's amazing. Brockhampton kind of does the same thing. Um, One of the early singles, Jawbreaker, which has a video, I think really stands out just because that's kind of like a cool satire on like the fashion industry and done the smart way while still sounding good. Rico Nasty featured on that. I think Jailbreak the Tesla with Amine. They had a Lucy that wasn't on any project with Amine last year. I think Tesla, it's cool. It's another banger, but doesn't stand out next to their other ones. But I actually really like Rap Song Tutorial because
Yeah.
again, it's kind of just like a satire, like poking
Right.
fun at uh, the modern way traditional rappers make their projects and
Hmm.
attempt to find success. So I think these are guys that I am not going to expect Gravy and Biscuits to become some big hit, even though it is obviously the closest song to pull that off. But they'll continue to be, I think, rising forces in the underground hip hop scene, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I thought they infused humor in here and satire as well, which I thought was pretty cool. And I'm definitely excited to see what they do next. I think they do need to find some cohesion in their albums in order to take it to like the next level. But there's a lot of promise here, so definitely a band to keep your eye on moving forward.